It's who you know.
Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Ching. And by the way, guys, I just published a book out on Amazon. It's called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to 5 adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest. I'm so happy he's on the show. He is one of the production manager for Pawn Stars. Give it up for the one and only Chris. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you. How you been? You been doing good?
I've been doing good, brother. I miss you, man. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. No, yeah, it's man, busy, but at the same time, 2024 was crazy, and I got big hype hopes for 2025. I'm excited.
Nice. I see you got a haircut too. You look fresh. I could tell.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was getting a little long, So wifey told me, "Hey, let's get that cleaned up," and I feel good. I feel really good.
I love it. So look, I want to share like a little story for the fans, how we first met. So Chris comes with a few of the guys. They have like the earpiece and the walkie-talkie, 10-4. And, I'm helping them out. I get them like 3 large SUVs or sometimes a minivan. And we had like a few interactions. Then it's almost like I already know the deal. They come in real easy. And one of my favorite moments, right, when you came, you said to me, you're like, David, what's your goal in film? What's your dream? I said, brother, I don't know if you're ready, but my dream is to be on Pawn Stars. you said, and the guy who's with you, you're like, oh, you're lucky because the guy who's with me, he's the cast coordinator. He's always looking for people to be on the show. And I said, if you want this Friday, I could get you on. I said, for real? And I said, man, it'll be an honor. So luckily, I told my boss, I said, hey, boss, I'm not going to come in. I got a big opportunity. This could change my life. I'm saying? And I went. That was my little introduction on how we met, brother. What about you? Any like memories you remember or first impressions when we first met?
Dude, your attitude's amazing. I am so excited to see where the future's going to take you because you are unstoppable with your positive attitude. Your customer service was one thing, and that's how the film industry starts. It's like we're all trying to get in. You got to know someone to get in. It's not like you can put an application in and just be like, hey, I have this, and it's who you know. Not that reality TV is the end all, know all, but TV in general, movies, everything. It's really someone's got to vouch for you. I was blessed that someone vouched for me, and it's going to happen for you too. I'm so glad that you helped us out. It was so much fun though to have you on set. Look around, and then next time we're going to do something bigger. You know what I mean? Like with your attitude and your skill set too. You take direction well, and you know what's going on, and you feel it. So I just loved how positive you were when it came down to it. So thank you so much for helping us.
Oh man, thank you, brother. It's an honor. So I do have to say something, right?
Yeah.
When I got to the film, right, I was a little nervous. You told me get there early. I got there early, right? I pulled up my brakes, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, look for a guy. He's gonna have a clipboard. His name is Justin. Real nice guy. You're gonna find him. I said, okay. So I'm looking at everybody, right? They all have the shirt that said Pawn Stars. And so I'm like, man, which one? So there's one guy with a clipboard, and I go up to him and I say, hey, how you doing? Are you Justin? He goes, yeah. I'm like, look, Chris, he told me to find you. I think you're the one. You know what I'm saying? And he started laughing. He's like, oh, yeah. He told me about you. Yeah. So don't worry. I'm gonna have you sign a waiver, but you're all good, brother. Don't worry. Just look around, and I'll call you when we're ready to film. I said, okay, perfect. So then one of the guys that I met with you, the casting director,
Yep.
I forgot his name, but he came and he said to Justin, he's like, look, Justin, I have to tell you something. This guy right here, David, he's VIP. You got to take care of him. He's without him, we wouldn't have our cars. You know what I'm saying? And it was so nice that the whole energy, like Justin treated me so well. He even like took me to the back, like got to show me around. We took pictures, and I felt like a celebrity. No lie. Even the director of the episode, she came out and she's like, "Yeah, I heard about you. You're VIP." Like I'm saying. She's like, "Yeah, Chris told me about it. And Justin, we're gonna take care of you. Don't worry. Anything you need, you let us know. And thank you again for helping us out." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, of course, thank you." So we're doing this set, and it's so cool because she tells me to talk to Rick, and I said, "It's an honor to meet Rick." And I passed Rick a sword, right? And I'm like, basically, I just say like, thank you. This is really cool. Something like that. Says this is really cool. The sword. And Rick is like, yeah, come back anytime. But before that line, he says to me, after tonight, you're gonna be famous. I said, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And then Rick starts laughing. And crazy enough, after the whole scene, the director pulls me to the side and says, you did an amazing job. I want you back next week. Can you make it happen? I said, yeah, I'll come back. She's like, bring two friends, talk to Justin. He'll coordinate everything. And I brought two friends, my friend Caden and Stella. They both came. It was so cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this, but I was on the new season that came out this February. My episode came out last week, which was amazing. I'm wearing a pink sweater. You could tell I lost a lot of weight because I look better now. Even I showed it to Chris. I look better.
You feel better, right? You feel better.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. No, you're looking great. Seriously, I saw the clip and everything. I saw when you were on there. I was like, "That you look great. That's awesome.
Thank you,
That's
thank
hard
you.
work."
It is hard, brother. I've been trying to the doctor told me that I'm like pre-diabetic, so I have to lose weight. So I cut down the carbs. I'm trying to get better, eat better, sleep better.
Yeah.
But yeah, brother, but I want to know, this is, tonight's about you. I want you to share your story on how you got involved with Pawn Stars, your journey, if you could tell us.
Okay, so I guess that's a multiple part story, but I guess if you want to go from the beginning, so the beginning would be that not that you need the college education, but I did get it. Okay, so in high school, junior high, I was that theater guy. I tried doing the acting thing. My energy's not high like yours, so I couldn't do the acting thing. It wasn't for me, but I did learn that stage managing, helping logistics. That was more my thing. So in high school, I did that. I went to college in Middle America in Missouri. They had a good journalism school. So I went for journalism. I went for mass media production. While I was in college, I gotta tell you, I love the college life. I love being involved with different things. I was in college for like 8 years, from like '97 to 2005. I was in college because I was involved with student activities and organizations. I was president of an organization called Halo, Hispanic American Leadership Organization. We put on like Cinco de Mayo and Hispanic Heritage Month. So I was always involved with college stuff. When I met some seniors who were doing their college projects, their movies, short films, I'm like, I'm down. I'm happy to help. It takes a community, and nothing is stronger than a volunteer. In my minds, anyone, even you came down to volunteer, and nothing can beat that, because when you volunteer, it's just like you want to be here, you want this. So when I did my college projects, I made a lot of friendships, and mind you, this is the '90s and early 2000s, so it's not like Facebook was around or social media. So by the time I graduated, it's like, okay, it's time to go back to California because I'm from the Bay Area, Northern California, but my family's all from Southern California, LA area, La Puente, Van Nuys, North Hollywood, they're all in the area from that, uh, 818 area code. So when I came out to California, I moved in grandma and I went and worked at a department store. As I was working at a department store in Missouri, and I transferred with them. It's a place called Circuit City. And while I'm working at Circuit City, like for 2 or 3 months, a dude from my university like walks into the store. I'm like, I knew you were out here, but I didn't know where you were and how to get a hold of you. So we start talking, we rekindle, and he's like, Chris, I'm in the industry now, luckily. His first project was, what was the Ben Stiller movie that the Average Joes and they're working out the whole time?
Is it not Dodgeball, right? It was a Dodgeball?
Dodgeball, thank you. Yeah. So he was a Dodgeball, and he was like Ben Stiller's assistant, and, he was a PA, production assistant. So he's doing his next project, and he's like, "Hey, it looks like we need an office production assistant. Do you want to apply? I can put your name in." And I'm just like, "Okay, this is it. This is how it works." I was like, "Someone vouches for you." So I go to my interview, and I'm wearing a suit, because back then they told you like, "Oh, you got to dress to the nines. You got to look good. You got to have a resume." And mind you, my resume's short because I just got out of college. So when I go there, they're like, "Okay, we're gonna hire you. It's only a 4-week gig," and I'm like sitting there waiting, scratching my head. I'm like, "Wait, 4-week gig? Like you want me to quit my bread and butter 9 to 5 job that pays my bills for 4 weeks?" And she looks at me, and the coordinator of the movie, she's like, "Yeah, that's how it works. You only get like a certain amount of days and weeks, or even maybe a few months in this industry, each project." And my mind's kind of blown. I guess I wasn't taught that, what a production assistant does or how it actually works and freelance. So I prayed on it. I really did. And then I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to get this under my belt. So let's do this 4-week job. So I go to downtown studios in Los Angeles. First of all, I tell my, Circuit City, like, "Hey, thank you so much for bringing me out to LA. Let me transfer, but I have to move on. I'm so sorry." So they appreciated that. 2 weeks later, I'm in the production office and I'm helping prep a movie. And they told me it's only going to be 4 weeks. I'm like, okay, cool, 4 weeks. All right, let's see how this is done. So my buddy is in the office with me, and he teaches me everything he knows. Well, luckily, my hard work, paid off, and my positive attitude. And they're like, "Chris, do you want to work the rest of the movie with us and be in the production office the whole time?" So like the first 4 weeks was kind of like, an interview and see how you do, And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to stay on. More money, more hours, whatever. Yeah, I'm here. I'm down." And living in Los Angeles, back then I was living in LA making $650 a week as a PA. So that's like what, $130 a day or something like that. So I'm grinding. I'm doing this movie. The movie from 4 weeks turned into 6 months, I think. I was literally the production assistant who gave the keys back to the studio. We're like, "Okay, the movie's wrapped. We did wrap out there. That's all payroll. That's all, closing out all our accounts." And I'm just there to assist, driver and, feed people, get people coffee. I'm like, "Yeah, I got, a college degree and I'm taking trash out and I'm getting people coffee." But that's how you do it. Even in the Fortune 500 companies, in New York or whatever, people who have graduates, that they still go start the mailroom. It's just where you start. So I give the keys back. Everything went well. The beauty of it is, 6 or 8 months later, the movie comes out. I tell all my friends and family, and I'm just like, let's go see if if my name's on there. And we did a movie called Dreamgirls. That was with Beyonce, Eddie Murphy, Danny Glover. I mean, the cast was huge. Jennifer Hudson on Dreamgirls, Jamie Foxx. And my name was on there, production office assistant Chris P. Anderson. And I'm like, all right, this is where it starts. So I start from there, and I don't know what else to do because this industry is all about name and reputation. So I'm literally just sitting still in my apartment in LA, just being like, okay, where's the next one? Who's going to call me? I don't know who would anyone to call. Only people who I've worked with on that one movie. So 5 weeks go by, and the coordinator calls me, and she's like, hey, I got a new project coming up. Do you want to move up and be the production secretary? Now, mind you, I'm that type of guy who I want to learn all the job of that job, and I wouldn't ask if I move up in the ladder. I wouldn't ask someone to do something that I don't know already how to do, if that makes sense, or I've already done. So I've worked as a production office assistant. I wrapped it out, but I never started it as a PA. I'm like, I appreciate the opportunity, but I want to be your key office PA and learn how the beginning starts. And she's just like, okay. I mean, I'm offering you more money and a better title, but I was like, I understand that, but I like the logistics on how it starts. So she hires me as her key office PA, and her and I go around looking for production office space. And then once we find a space, we had to turn on, well, this was back when you had to have landline telephones. We, call the phone company, we call the internet company, we set up trash. I mean, it was an empty space, and we got a short lease for about 9 months, I think it was. We had cars. I mean, Warner Brothers has a warehouse literally of just rental supplies of tables and desks and, filing cabinets and just everything you need for a production office space. I'm like, okay, this is how this works. This is how it's done. I'm loving learning all this stuff because I love logistics. So this next project is called, crap, now I'm going stupid. Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. So I do a movie called Heartbreak Kid as the office. I leave that movie at the end, and someone in the art department calls me, and they're just like, Chris, you're an awesome PA. You want to come PA on this TV show? A lot of. Basically, my resume gets bigger and bigger. I'm so blessed. I'm working my way up. I like the production part of it, and I also like the locations part of it. After a couple of years working in LA, working on the studios, working on projects, sadly, for me, the big writer's strike happened. Writer's strike happened back in 2007 or 8. So no one's working in LA. When the writers don't work, there's no projects going on whatsoever. And that affects everyone from PAs to even dry cleaners for people who do it for movie sets and wardrobe and everything. Just everything shuts down. So someone I know who I worked with hits me up a couple months later, and I'm sitting on my couch because I can't get a normal job because I don't feel right quitting. I'm not trying to spend money because even driving around town is gas money. So I'm just trying to, tighten the belt and wait it out. And someone says, hey, Chris, do you want to come to Vegas with me and be another title bump would be an assistant production office coordinator, APOC. I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's try that. I put my stuff in storage because my lease was about to come up anyway. And I go to Vegas supposed to be for 45 days. And I live at the Riviera. So I'm at the Riviera. I'm doing this movie. I don't know if you remember being in Vegas back in the day, but there was a Vegas show on the Strip called Crazy Girls. It had the one with all the butts, the girls' butts behind, and they're all holding each other. But the guy on that who produced that or who owned that show wanted to make a movie. So we made this B-rated movie. And then I met people in Vegas, and I was just like, okay, this town's actually pretty cool. It's my second time being here, but now I'm kind of living here. And I started talking to, this girl, and we have an on-set fling, just dating on set. And I go back to LA. I'm staying at another friend's now, because I didn't know how we were all going to work it out home-wise. And she's like, well, since you're just chilling and hanging out there and not spending money, why don't you come to Vegas and hang out here? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to Vegas more often, and she helps me out and pay bills and, as far as food goes. Long story short, I'm like, you know what? Vegas is where it's at. While she's working, I'm walking the strip. I see cameras more, and I'm like, what's going on? And because of the writer's strike, more reality TV was actually invented or birthed. That's where reality really came from, was during that writer's strike. We've always had, shows like Cops or The Real World or like Survivor, but reality itself, like following a person around town, like the Kardashians and shit, that really didn't start until, the mid to late, 2000s because of the writer's strike. So I moved to Vegas. I'm like, okay, let's see if there's more work out here. And funny thing enough is I actually interviewed as a PA on Pawn Stars, and in the early days, because now, mind you, Pawn Stars has been around for like 15 years. And they told me, and I'm not too naive on things, but back then they're just like, well, as a PA, you have a list of duties of blah, 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 blah. Well, in my mind, they wanted me at that time. The producer was just, they're trying to take advantage of PAs. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. Sorry. Another project called me. I wanted to make them think I was sought after, and I just didn't want to work on that project at the time. But the same company had another show called Counting Cars. And by this time, I've done multiple shows in Vegas. I'm working my way up. I'm a coordinator. I was lucky enough to be the coordinator at first of what was it called? Real World Vegas. So that was my first logistics types job of being a coordinator, nighttime coordinator, because that's where all the action was. And then I moved my way up to production manager of another Vegas Real World. So now I go and I apply for the Counting Cars coordinator. Counting Cars on the History Channel. It was also kind of a sub show of Pawn Stars. It was a spinoff of Pawn Stars from the guy Danny Coker, who was the car expert on Pawn Stars. So I had a great time doing that show. It was a build show of cars, amazing on the History Channel. Counts Customs was amazing, place to be at. From Counting Cars, I moved to American Restoration. American Restoration was also a spinoff of Pawn Stars. So I went from Counting Cars to American Restoration as a coordinator. And then, that was great. And then Pawn Stars came back up again. The season came up, and I went to apply for that coordinator job. And it turns out they changed regime of management. So my coworker from The Real World and Bad Girls Club, she was now the executive producer. And Tracy gets me in there and she interviews me and she's like, yeah, why don't you come, be the coordinator of Pawn Stars now? So I'm like, great. This is like the godfather of like reality type shows. So I'm now, on Pawn Stars. Out of the last 10 years, I think I've missed maybe 1 or 2 seasons because I was booked on something else. And for me, I don't like to jump ship in the middle of a project. So I finish up my contracts of my shows and then I move on. But yeah, I've been on Pawn Stars for like 10 years, and Pawn Stars took me everywhere. It took me all over the nation. It took me, across the sea. We went to England. We went to Italy. The show did go to Amsterdam without me during the pandemic, but that shows, it's world traveled. And the funny thing about Pawn Stars is it's like dubbed in like 20 something different languages and like over, I don't know, like 100 countries. We'd go to Italy and the show was on TV. It was also called different else. It was like a different name. It wasn't called Pawn Stars because the words didn't translate. It was almost like big men with family business or something like that. And then the voices were all dubbed. And it's so funny to watch Rick talk, but it wasn't his voice. It was like a lighter voice or a different laugh or something. But yeah, no, Pawn Stars, I love it there. We just wrapped season 25, which you were on back in June of 2024. So we've been on hiatus for a long time. We're hoping to hear from History Channel this summer, around June 2025, to see if the show will get picked up again. But Pawn Stars, it's OG. It's fun. It's amazing. And when I call places to go film, if Pawn Stars wants to go out in the middle of town to film something, or there's an item like, hey, this would be great to go see this at Caesars or MGM or a restaurant or a museum. It's got clout. I mean, Pawn Stars is everyone's like, look, there's no drama. It's Pawn Stars. It's History Channel. It's classic. So I loved working on that prestigious show. It's amazing. Cast, crew, everything about it is awesome.
That's an amazing story, man. I love it. Like I feel like I should have brought popcorn. Like
Yeah,
you took me to LA, Vegas. Yeah.
it's a long story, man. I know. I've been doing this for like 20 years now, and it's a long story. I didn't mean to go long winded, so I apologize.
No,
But
no, I
that's
needed that. No, thank you, thank you. It helps because sometimes I invite guests on the show and they'll give me like two sentences, and I feel like, yo, I need more. But you did a great job because
hey,
you started where LA, and I feel like college. A lot of us, when we graduate from college, we they don't teach us that when you graduate, there's not a job waiting for you right away.
and that's what I kind of thought too, and that's what they said the American dream was back in the day. Because my parents, it was again all before social media, and they were drilled in their head college, 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 which I'm all for higher education. But I kind of thought that, oh, I produced some things in college. Well, I'm going to go to a studio right away and be a producer. Like I know how to do it, and not even the university teaches you that because they don't want to scare you, being like, there's not really a job waiting with a ticket, number 49. Oh, that's me. Do I got a producer job? No. It's like, hey, you got to go put work in again. You got to go take the trash out. And I got to tell you a story. Okay. So, real quick story. Uh, while on Dreamgirls, okay, the art director, which sadly I forgot his name, I can look it up, but the art director just won an Academy Award for Chicago, I think, the musical movie. And I was like, this is amazing. And while we were filming, he was up for another Academy Award at that time for Memoirs of a Geisha. Beautiful movie. And he won. Okay, so he won this Academy so now he owns two Academy Awards, two Oscars. And he brings him on, whatever, a week or two later, he brings him to work and puts him on his desk. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I gotta ask you, if you have a second, what's your advice? I'm a PA starting my first project. He's like, Chris, you gotta love to shovel dog shit. And I'm sitting here and I'm like you with popcorn. I'm listening. I'm writing shit down. Like, okay, I love shoveling. He's like, yeah. If someone comes in the room, Chris, as a production assistant, someone comes in a room and says, hey, I got my truck bed's full of dog shit. Who wants to go out there and clean it out? And you got to raise your hand. You got to smile. And you got to love it like it's the best thing ever. I'll do it. I love shoveling dog shit. Yes, please, I'll do it. That's how they're going to remember you. That's how they're going to know this guy wants to go somewhere. He's got a positive attitude. He works hard. And he's like, and Chris, the whole world, the rest of your life, dog shit, it'll wash off. He's like, you're going to get dirty. You're going to be asked to do something and it's going to get filthy. But guess what? It's going to wash off. You'll be fine. I'm like, okay, I like that. So work hard, good work ethic, positive attitude. There's going to be a day where you're going to have a bad day, and you got to, I hate to say, hide it sometimes, because that one bad day, oh, hey, you see David? He was pissed off today. You know what? I don't like his attitude. We're not going to call him again. Chris, he's going through something, but he had a bad attitude today. So that kind of tarnishes it. You got to, put on the positive attitude and just work hard. You got to love shoveling dog shit, because at the end of the day, you did a good job and it'll wash off. That was the best advice that he gave me. If I could put in work, if I have to work a day, a whole day shift and then a whole night shift and a whole day shift again, I'll sleep. I can't do it every day, but you got to grind in this industry.
Wow. What a
So
what
yeah,
a deep pull. I love it. I love it, brother. That's deep. I've never seen it like that. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Well, look, Chris, it looks like Zoom is about to kick us out, but I
All
just
right.
want to say, it's an honor to have you, Chris. It
Thank
means a
you.
lot. Love your stories, and you're always welcome back on the show.
Please, please.
For real, for real. It's from the heart, from the heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I appreciate that, man. I got a couple more stories. Any advice you got? I love, spreading whatever I can. And yeah, just everyone out there, just you gotta love shoveling dog shit. You know what I mean? And David, I want to work with you, and I'm excited. And yeah, we're gonna do this again.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Well, look, guys, this is the Outlet to Reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Cha-ching! You know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat is Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And brother Chris, where can my fans find you? If they got any questions or where can they reach out?
Man, I hate to say it. I'm not on social media, but my Facebook, that's for my, friends and family for the most part. But from through you, they can find me. So whatever you need, and whoever knows you, please hit me up. And you and I will talk.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.